Good morning, guys. Well, today it's about 5:30, 5:45 a.m. We're heading down to a location just north of Creemore, Ontario. And what we're thinking of doing this morning is essentially photographing the sunrise. Also, when I go out on a shoot, regardless of the time of day, I'm also looking for other things of interest. But primarily this morning, it's a sunrise. Now, I'm not particularly a sunrise or a sunset shooter. However, it is interesting to me, so I thought, you know what, today we're going to go out, we're going to take a look, we're going to see what we can find. Now, already, as I'm starting to head down there, well, I've been on the road about 10 minutes, got a coffee and so on, but as I'm starting to head down there, I am noticing that we don't have a great deal of cloud cover in the sky as of yet. We've got a few small clouds here and there. When I'm shooting a sunrise or a sunset, I am looking for a certain amount of character in the sky. I don't want clouds that's going to block everything out completely, but I do want clouds that are going to give me some character. Something else I look for in a sunrise or a sunset image is some kind of foreground interest. I don't just like to shoot the sunrise or the sunset. I want something else in the image that's going to create some kind of interest and maybe take us to the destination. So those are things that I'm thinking about and looking for this morning. Today I am using my Canon 7D. I'm starting off with my kit lens, my 18 to 55mm Canon kit lens. So that's what I'm going to try today to start with and see where we go from there. I will get the drone up if I can. It doesn't seem too windy or anything like that, so there's usually something of interest. We are going to be out in the countryside. No reason why we can't pop the drone up and take a little look there and do some aerial footage and video and so on. I am using my GoPro Hero 5 Black Edition to record this video. And again, I don't know if I've mentioned this, but I am having an issue with it having 3 internal mics and no external mic port. And I find the mic that's located on the actual bottom or the underside of the GoPro, it picks up any sound that's created from my hand holding the selfie stick. That's a bit of a problem, so I got to see how I can work with that. But anyhow, that's what we're doing. So yeah, Gary here with Gary Clayton Photography. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Oh, and I'm going to say this now before I forget, because I will forget probably later. If you like what we're doing, if you like the content, please subscribe to our channel. Tell your family, tell your friends. Great. Give me a like, leave a comment, give me a share. If you do comment, I will get back to you. And hey, let's have a great day. Let's have some fun. It's a beautiful morning to be alive. Let's go. Okay, guys. Well, we found a location. Now, this location, it's a small, very old-time cemetery from back in the early 1800s, mid-1800s. I've actually been to this location before. I'm going to pan the GoPro around, let you take a look at that. And off to the distance there, you can start to see a little bit of color generating or starting in the sky as the sun's slowly starting to approach. Sunrise today is about 6:34. Right now it's about 10 minutes after 6. So we've got about 20 minutes to get ready. We're going to set up the tripod, get the camera on there. Again, I'm using my 7D. I'm using my 18 to 55mm kit lens to start with. And we're going to see what happens. So listen, let's get set up. Let's get some gear out. Let's get set up. Let's see what we can take today. Let's have some fun. We're going to get some time to take a look around this property and around this cemetery. And we'll see what other shots we can get. Yeah, so right now we're just kind of looking for the composition. You can see all the headstones here of the cemetery, and I thought that might make a certain amount of foreground interest. Again, this is a very, very old cemetery and church from back in like the mid 1800s. So yeah, it's a very interesting and of course sacred location. So we're being very careful where we go, only staying on paths and so on, and not disturbing anything. We've got all these trees, these bushes and so on right here. We need, of course, the open space to get to the horizon itself. But let's just take a look down here. There's a farmer's field here, and it's been freshly harvested and so on. So you've got some nice leading lines leading off into the distance. And you know what? That in itself could actually be a really interesting foreground interest. And if we move out this way across the field a little bit, we can, you know, we can see the expanse in the distance. What would that look like on the camera? Don't know. But we do have kind of the leading lines from where the wheat or whatever's been in this field has been harvested, and where the tractor's been running up and down. A second area I kind of thought about, if we move across here and through the cemetery property itself to the other side of this tree line here, there's more of an open kind of area, but still with some gravestones in the foreground. And that in itself might be interesting. So let's just move along the back here. Again, staying on the path. Now this might be an area, we do have some trees in the distance, but it's quite possibly an area to get a good sunrise shot from. Let's see, I don't know. I do notice also off to our left here, we've got kind of an interesting looking farm. So of course, we are going to take a couple of shots of that this morning. Okay guys, so we are all set up, and again I'm using my Canon 7D, my 18 to 55mm lens. We're on the tripod. I have no filters of any kind. I do have my cable release. What we're looking at here is we have some reasonable foreground interest with the headstones from the cemetery. We're about 6 minutes away from the actual sunrise itself, but we are starting to get some color in the sky, especially around the trees and off into the distance. So we are going to take one little shot of that right now. If I turn my camera on, we are going to take a shot of that right now. If I turn my camera on. If I don't, then we won't take a shot of that right now. Hey, it's early. Okay, so, okay, fine. Not bad, not a bad little shot. Let's just change that focal length a little bit and get a little bit more of that cloud in there. And we're a little overexposed there, but we are getting some of that cloud. So I tell you what, let's just drop that down one stop. Okay, let's drop that down half a stop. Much better. Now we're getting some character in the sky, we're getting some color. But what we will do, let's just take another shot of that. And what we're going to do is we're going to take one on exposed, one on one under, or one stop under, and one shot on one stop over. That way, it's going to give us the information we need. So when we do go to post with this, there. So there, 3 shots. So when we go to post with this, we do have the data. So we got one shot on what we think is exposed, one shot on one stop underexposed, one shot on one stop overexposed, and we're going to merge those together and see if we can bring out all the details in all the areas. So we'll have a look at that, of that particular image, probably about now. See what you think to that. So you guys have seen it before I have. But yeah, very basic. We're starting to get a little bit of color now in the upper levels of the sky. So it could be interesting. Right now I'm using F8. I have an ISO of 200, and I have a shutter speed right now of 1/4 of a second or 1/4 of a second. It's actually amazing to be here. You look at some of these headstones on some of these graves of the people that lived like back in the 1800s and so on, and some of the life, the duration of life was very, very short. Children, young people, some people 23, some people 27, male, female, husbands, wives, sons, daughters, children, babies, 6 months old. So much history and so much of a story to tell. It's truly amazing. Like right here, March the 8th, 1881, age 4 months, 3 days old. At least I think it says 4. Maybe that says a 1. Maybe that's a 1. Nope, I think it's a 4. But it's rather a 1 or a 4. Either way, sleep on, sweet baby, and take thy rest. God called to thee home. He thought it best. Okay. 1881. Wow. Yeah. So much history. Such a story. Truly amazing. Wow. And every one of these headstones, or almost all of them, are filled with more than one person or more than one name. So family plots, husbands, wives, mums, dads, children. But so many of them died at such a young age. It's really, really interesting, amazing. Life back in the 1800s. Huh. Oh well. Okay, so I tell you what we're going to do. We did get the drone up. It's really interesting. It really is. I keep saying it, but it really is interesting. Now, something I've just noticed. On the front of this church, the front door itself is actually open. Now, this is an old-time church. And inside is like a foyer. And you can go in here. You can only go as far as here. You can't go any further. But there is a guest book, so we've signed the guest book. Yeah, it's really kind of cool. So here's the guest book, today's date, my name, photographer. This is what I'm doing. So yeah, this place is like truly amazing. I just wanted to take a moment and show you